Sorry guys, my my batteries ran out. My batteries died, so I had to get my other batteries. Okay. So this friend, like I said, she blew up, right? And she was complaining, and she says, "Well, I too have started a business, and I don't have too much time for anybody because I'm just too busy starting my business, right? And there's there's no reason why." Uh, we couldn't go out or anything. I was just asking you to go out for a coffee. And so then, yeah, so like I'm busy too. And so that was the end of her email. I wanted to respond back, but I didn't because I could hear God saying, Nancy, don't respond back to her. Just leave things as they are. I really wanted to respond, guys, but I didn't because he was telling me not to. So, so that was just ridiculous. Like how it doesn't make any sense for a person to try and justify the horrible way in which they're treating you. But those are people who don't respect you. They never respected you in the first place. When you tell a person, when you approach a person about something that they're doing to harm you, and then you tell them, please don't do it again. We can carry on with the friendship, but please don't do it again. I forgive you. And then they come back at you with a complaint about how, like they're denying it. Those are people who never respected you because they like to treat you like they like to have this power over a person or people. When people allow when people allow themselves to be treated that way, like when people allow themselves to be treated in a horrible way by another person, and that other person sees that you are like that those people are allowing it, they're going to continue because they love to have that kind of power over another person. They love treating people like garbage because simply because other people, they permit it. And it doesn't hurt them. It doesn't make them feel bad to see that the way they're treating you is hurting you. They enjoy it. Right? When you tell somebody you're doing this to hurt me, and they know that they're doing it, but they still deny it, those are people who have despicable hearts because they take pleasure in hurting you, and they don't want to do anything to correct their behavior. They even sacrifice the friendship they have with you. They they do not want to change for the sake of the relationship. They want you to continue putting up with who they are towards you. But if you were to ask them, if you were to switch positions, do you think that they would say, okay, I would love to be treated the way I treat you and for me not to say anything about it, just to continue putting up with it? They would not want that because they have despicable hearts. So, yeah, so anyway, you know, after after God told me not to respond back to this person, I just moved on, and it's been 7 years. How time flies so fast. And you know what, guys? Not that I am expecting for this person to contact me to say sorry. I'm shocked because so many years have passed by and they never once bothered sending me an email. Well, they can't call me anymore because my phone number's changed twice since that time. But they never bothered calling me to say, Nancy, the way that I treated you was terrible and I'm sorry. Like what I'm getting at is that what I'm getting at is they, after so many years, they have never, it has never, they've never come to realize how harmful they were. In all that time, they've never once come to realize how harmful they were. Because they've never called me, they've never sent me an email to say, I'm sorry for the way I treated you. Can we please resume our relationship? Right? So after so many years has passed and they still haven't emailed me to acknowledge their wrong, to correct what they've done, it shows that they have not changed. Again, I'm not expecting them to call back to apologize. I'm not expecting an apology. I don't live my life based on whether people apologize to me or not, or based on whether they are sorry for what they did. I don't get my peace from whether a person is sorry for the way they treated me. That's not how I live my life. You know, God taught me that 7 years ago. He taught me not to worry about people who are not sorry for what they do to hurt you. This is what the Holy Spirit said to me. Like one time, a relative was really mean to me, and well, okay, it started like this. This relative was talking to me one day. We were having a conversation, and then I was mean to them. Like the way I answered them back, it was harsh. And the next day I felt really bad. So then I approached this relative and I said, I'm very sorry for the way I treated them. And then the relative said that they did not accept my apology. So then I got really upset. I'm like, how, what? I said I'm sorry and they didn't accept my apology? How dare they? So I stood up and I walked away and I went into another room. And I said to God, see, Father, I told this relative sorry and it still was not good enough. And then I heard the Holy Spirit say, it's not your problem. And after he said that, I just stood there wondering, what? Lord, what do you mean it's not my problem? Of course it's my problem. They just refused my apology after I said sorry to them. They're supposed to say, I accept your apology. So the Holy Spirit didn't say anything after that, okay, because he wanted me to understand that just period, it's not my problem. So after the Lord said this, the Holy Spirit said this, I continued to wonder, how is it not my problem? So then day by day, wondering what's going on. And eventually it was revealed to me through a program, it was Andrew Womack's program. I really like him. He's a great person. I love him. He's so cool and he's funny. He's a prophet. He's really funny. So anyway, Andrew Womack, I'll put his link in the description box for you guys. So one day he was talking about forgiveness and the topic of forgiveness. So he said that when you say sorry to somebody and the person doesn't acknowledge that you are sorry and they don't accept your apology, it's no longer your problem because you've already done your job. You have corrected your wrong by apologizing to the person, and now it's up to the person that you offended to accept it. And if they don't, now the problem is now that person has the problem because God is now holding them accountable for why they haven't accepted the apology. Because when you what's that? Okay, another looks like another dragonfly. It's around you guys. Mommy, go away, mommy. Okay, hold on. It's around me, guys. If I take off, forgive me. Please go away. Oh, mommy, go away. Oh, mommy. Guys, it's near my door. But it's just okay. It's going. Mommy, oh, mommy, go away. Now it's on my door. What am I gonna do? Ah! What am I gonna do, guys? Oh! Go away! I can't stand those things. Oh, go away. I gotta get inside the house, guys. Sorry, guys, I'm making so much noise. Okay, so it's just like hanging out in my door and the window. Go away. Okay, so it's like kind of taking off now. Sorry, guys. I can't stand big bugs like that near me. I can't stand big bugs like that near me. It's still hanging out behind me, like on my window. Okay, what a workout. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna try and finish this up. Maybe I'll go back inside my house, inside the place, and inside my house to finish up the my other recordings. I can't record like this. Now there's a moth on my window now, but moths are okay. So anyway, what I learned is that Andrew Womack was talking about whenever somebody rejects your apology, now the problem is between them. The problem is in them, and now that it's between them and God, because God is expecting them to acknowledge the apology and receive it, accept it, which means they have forgiven. When a person does not accept your apology, it's because they are holding on to unforgiveness. Okay, so that's the thing. So then when I saw that episode of Andrew Womack explaining this, then that's when I realized, oh, so that's how it works. So whenever I offend somebody and I'm sorry and I approach them to correct the matter and they don't accept it, it's no longer my problem because I have done my part to correct my wrong, right? And now it's on them to correct their wrong of unforgiveness. So that's how it works. So for you guys who are dealing with friends who, for situations when you're dealing with a situation where you have told somebody that you told someone that you're sorry for doing something to hurt them, but they don't accept your apology. Don't feel bad. Don't feel guilty. It's no longer your problem. It's now their problem because they are operating in arrogance and in pride because they're like, well, it's about me. How dare they try to come to me and say sorry as if though what they did to me was okay. If I say I accept your apology, then that means that I am also saying, yeah, what you did to me was okay. And that's not it. That's not it at all. Whenever you apologize to somebody, it's because you are acknowledging that you did something wrong. That's how it is. And those people are obligated to accept your apology. Now they're obligated under God's law. Okay? But you don't go around thinking in your heart, well, how dare they not accept my apology? Don't have that attitude because you're going to God is going to deal with you because that is also pride and arrogance. When you start saying, how dare they not accept my apology, that also has to do with pride and arrogance because you are now dealing with unforgiveness as well. When you are upset that a person does not accept your apology, in some cases you are also dealing with unforgiveness because when my relative did not accept my apology, I was not dealing with unforgiveness. I had already learned to forgive. I had already become brand new in my heart. I was no longer not forgiving. So so that's why I say in some cases. In some cases people do forgive the person who hurt the person for not receiving their apology, and in other cases some people are unforgiving because the other person will not accept their apology. So anyway, back to a friend that I had. I never held like I said, I never held unforgiveness towards them. I just moved on and that was it. So for you guys who have friends in your lives who who have been treating you like garbage, or who they continue to treat you like garbage, make a decision to move on. Because it's toxic and it's so unhealthy, and it's too much of a weight on your heart, on your back, on like I'm talking about mentally. Yeah, it's too much, and spiritually too. It's too much on a person. So it's best to cut off those friends and move on. God will bring you other friends. And the thing is, you can ask him, just say, Lord, I would like some really good Christian friends, loyal friends, people who will not betray me or treat me like garbage. I want people who will have your heart. I want those kinds of people in my life. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to come across other people in your life who may not treat you like garbage, because in this life we will always deal with difficult personalities. It's just when you want to have close friends, then you can, just ask God, say, Lord, I would like to have close friends, but those ones who have your heart, so that they will not treat me like garbage, and he will bring them to you. There are many people out there who have loyal friends, right? So, yeah. And for me, the shocking thing was, that I have known this person, since we met when we were little kids, like little tiny kids, little kids, guys. And then for this person to turn out this way in their adult life, well, from teenage to adult life, that shocked me because they were never like this when we were little. But then again, that was just a side of them that was not, it was hidden. That side of them was hidden when they were a child, and it came out once we became teenagers, you know. So get rid of those awful friends, guys, because they're awful. They're awful people. And I'm not trying to criticize or judge them. Okay, when I say awful, it's because I know what I'm talking about. You know, the matter of judging, some people say, you can't judge me. No, I can judge you. You can't judge people. In the Bible, God does say, you shall know them by their works, which means you are judging their behavior. If you don't want to be around a person that harms you, right, based on their behavior, you need to move on, right? If you walk into a situation, like for example, if you have a friend, okay, you have a friend, right, and they're taking you to a gathering, like a picnic or something, or a party of a house where you don't know anybody, but you know your friend and you know a few other friends that will be there, but the house belongs to either a person that you don't know, or you're going to a house of the person that you do know, and there are going to be people there that you don't know. So anyway, once you get to the house or to the picnic, then you see like some people behaving in an ungodly fashion, whichever way that is. It's just ungodly, and it's not something that is healthy for anybody to be around. So then you're saying to yourself, well, I don't know these people, I have never met them before, but based on their behavior, I do not want to come back here. So now you are judging based on the person's behavior, whether you want to be around them or not. That is the kind of judging that God tells us to do. So when people tell you, don't you dare judge me, right? Like if you are addressing something negative that is harmful to themselves or to you or to somebody else, you are judging righteously because you are observing something that is unhealthy. That is a healthy form of judgment. But if a person, like for example, if somebody is talking to somebody else, and like if they're saying, why are you doing that? Don't you know that what you're doing is wrong? Okay, that's a lot of noise with these motorcycles. So when the person says, why are you, a person is saying to somebody else, why are you doing that? Don't you know that is wrong? Right? And then, but at the same time, the person is saying, the person who is, telling the other person, what are you doing? They're doing the same thing. Okay, now they're judging because they're being hypocritical. Okay, a person who tells another person, don't do that, and they're doing the same thing, they are now being a hypocrite, and they are judging. Okay, because they're doing the same thing. Do you understand now? Okay, so now that's what it means to judge righteously, and when you judge in a hypocritical fashion. So yeah, you judge for yourselves whether you want to continue on in the lives of people, or if you want to allow harmful people to still remain in your life. Judge for yourselves if it's the best thing for you. For me, it took 1,000,000 years to finally tell this friend, okay, goodbye, see you later, never. You know what I'm saying? That's not healthy, because I put up with a lot, and it was always so stressful for me, but I would always move on. I wouldn't let the stress stay on me. I would just move on. But then it would happen again, and the stress would come back, right? So that's not very healthy. It's not healthy just because you're a very forgiving person and you let the offenses go. It's healthy that you're forgiving and you let the offenses go. It's not healthy that you're in this cycle of always receiving offenses, and just because you're forgiving doesn't mean it's healthy to continue to receive offenses, because it's harmful. It affects the person. It affects you. So yes, so for you guys, just move on from your friends, and it doesn't matter how long you've known them. You could have known them from the time you were 2 years old. If they are disrespectful and not treating you in the way that you deserve, then you need to move on. Just make a decision, move on. And if you don't know how to move on, well, I have some advice for you. You have to be upfront with them, because if you are not upfront with them, they're going to continue bothering you. They're going to continue bothering you, sending you emails, calling you, getting friends call you to say, hey, why is so and so ignoring me? What's going on? You have to tell them like directly. I no longer want anything to do with it. You have to be honest with them. Don't just say, well, don't ignore them and say, oh, I don't have time, and they're gonna get suspicious, and they're gonna wonder. Like I said, they're gonna start bothering you with emails and phone calls and things like that, and trying to reach you through friends and possibly family members or relatives. So that's why you need to put your foot down once and for all. And when you put your foot down, then make a decision to just tell them, this is the way you are. I don't want to put up with it anymore, and I'm moving on from you, and I will no longer have anything more to do with you. Block them out. Next step, block them out of everything that you are connected to them with. Facebook, anything. Your emails, Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo, whatever email you have, block them out. Block them out of your phone number. And if you can't block them out of your phone number, do your best to acquire a new phone number, and make sure that you tell people not to give out your phone number to this person because you have made a decision to move on. That's all. Guys, you have to do it, because if you don't do it, you are going to continue putting up with the garbage, and you're going to continue to be stressed out, always worrying about when's the next time they're going to treat you like garbage. You know? It's not worth having those kinds of quote-unquote friends in your life. Right now, I have a friend who is dealing with this other girl. She's supposedly, she was never really a friend, right? But my friend's quote-unquote friend, yeesh, guys, the things that my friend tells me, the way she gets treated by this person, unbelievable, atrocious treatment. My friend gets treated in an atrocious manner by this person. You know, and I keep telling my friend, you have to remove this person from your life. And she's actually on the verge of doing it. She's just, my friend is developing the strength and the boldness to do it. But I would say she is 75% there. Because when my friend has a lot of patience, okay, she has a lot of patience, but don't get on her bad side. Not that she's rude or anything like that, because her patience extends beyond what it should go. And when I say don't get on her bad side, she will really deal with people who are being not so good. You know, she will deal with them, and it leaves that other person in a million pieces on the floor. So yeah, in this case, the person who is treating her this way, you know, she would kind of deserve it because, guys, I can't get into it, but she's really, I mean, the word atrocious does not properly describe the way they treat my friend. So I'm going to be very happy when my friend finally gets rid of this person. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry. Oh, what was that? Oh, hold on. Okay, sorry, guys. It's just like, you know those flying ants? Suddenly I've started seeing them, and my mother said she saw them last year, but I never saw them. I don't understand what's going on with these flying ants, because whenever we see them, they're always in the process of dying. They're just dying, but this is the first time I've seen them flying out here. Like out here, it's the first time I've seen them flying. Normally, if we see them in the house, they're just crawling and just dying. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's what I said. I said, Lord, I release your light and glory in this place. And then they just, all of a sudden, they just die. One time I said that. I said, Lord, I release your light and glory in this place. And then the next day I saw many, many, many dead ants just all at once in my room underneath the radiator. So, yeah, because I don't want any ants in my place. Get out of my house. Anyway, so guys, I think I'm finished, and make sure that you develop the strength to remove your bad friends out of your life. Bad as in, you know, treating you bad. Just do it, guys, you know. If you want any kind of peace, get bold and strong and tell them. And you know what, you don't have to You don't have to give them a long explanation. Just say, I am moving on. I'm moving on, and I no longer want anything more to do with you. Don't give them any explanations because they don't deserve it. They already know what they're doing. Just tell them. The only thing that you need to tell them is that you're moving on, and that's it. You don't, if you're gonna try and give them explanations, they're gonna argue with you, and you're gonna get very drained. So just make sure that you just say, I am moving on from you. I want nothing more to do with you, and that's it. And move on. And if you happen to see them on the street and they approach you, tell them the same thing. I want nothing to do with you, and keep going. Don't give them any explanations. You have to, be strong when it comes to people who are trying to get back into your life. And later on, if they do try to come back into your life, no matter if it's a month later, a week later, a month later, 6 months later, a year later, you still have to say no. You still have to say no. Don't say, well, have you changed? No, don't ask them that. You need to move on because God has better people for you. Okay, guys, I'm finished. And don't forget to subscribe. You see my photo? Okay, don't forget to click on that, and you will be notified every time I get every time I upload more videos. You'll be notified, and you won't miss the videos. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I will try to answer as best way that I can. Okay, guys, see you later.